Hi, I'm Kelly Dana here with
Connor Keenan,
Connor Groom,
AJ Christopher,
and I'm Tommy Feeney.
and we are Campus Culture. We are an app-based platform that allows college students to share their experiences with high school students to give them a better understanding about each college.
Now, I'm guessing that most of you have gone through or will go through the daunting process of helping your child pick the perfect college. A study, according to the National Student Research Center, found that 37% of college students transfer at least one time within their college years. Imagine you spend $20,000 to $70,000 a year to send your child to college, only to get a phone call home that they're unhappy because it's not the experience that they were expecting. Nothing is worse for a parent knowing that their child is unhappy and stressed out, especially when they could be living far from home.
So our goal here at Campus Culture is to help all high school students find the right college the first time around. So we are a social media-based app that allows high school students to talk to and communicate with real college students about their unique and personal experiences to help those high school students gain a better understanding of their school of interest. We want everyone to be as comfortable as possible throughout their college search process, and we want to save the parents and the students the time, money, and stress of making a costly mistake in choosing the wrong school.
We aim to give users the ability to share their real-life experiences and connect with real college students. We also give universities the ability to gain and grow their exposure to new students. We use platforms similar to Instagram and Facebook Messenger to allow for our users to have a simple and seamless sharing experience. As you can see, a user will be able to select their school, whatever school they would like, and they can go through a list of all the students that attend the school and see every single post that any student's ever written about the school. They can then contact the students personally and ask them whatever questions they'd like about whatever they've written or any experiences they might have.
So some of our main competitors are Barstool Sports and Niche. Both of them are indirect competitors that provide similar information just on different platforms and setups. Barstool Sports posts about social life on their Instagram and Snapchat, but there is no personal side to it because you cannot connect with the college students via Barstool Sports. Now, Niche is a Naviance-based website that provides basic information about schools such as GPA requirements and test scores needed to get in. Now, Niche does have a social scene rating, but the only downside to this rating is that it only rates it on a scale of F to A+, without giving any description as to why the school was given the rating that it got.
85% of students that we interviewed said that they would like to know more about colleges and they have not made a decision on their college. They've been using the college tour experience and they've been asking their siblings and friends, but really this is kind of an inadequate solution because you can only ask your sibling about one school because they're attending one school. You can't get a full, broad, all the information about all the colleges. The students that we interviewed found that they would use our solution and they would pay for it as opposed to these inadequate solutions.
Now these are some great examples of possible customers that could use and benefit from our app. First, we have a mother, her name is Wendy, and Wendy values nothing more for her children than her children's safety. She wants to make sure that wherever her children go to college, they're as safe as they can possibly be. Then we have Ronnie. Ronnie is a freshman in college, and Ronnie loves the university he's attending. He's loving all the new experiences and opportunities he's gaining, and he loves to share them with his peers. And what better way to share them with your peers than to share them with new and up-and-coming students? Then we have Abby. Abby is also a college student. Abby is a part of a sorority on our campus, and Abby could greatly benefit from this app by recruiting new members to her sorority. And finally, we have Barry. Barry is a senior in high school, and like a lot of kids in high school, Barry cares a lot about his social life. So wherever Barry goes to college, he wants to make sure that he fits in socially and he understands the social aspect of that university.
Now, we're going to be entering into a $15 billion market. And although this may seem big, we're not going to obtain all $15 billion in year one, so we're going to hone in on our $173 million SAM. Although we won't gain all $173 million, we are going to try to gain our market share of $18,000. Now, currently there are 196 million current social media users in the United States that span the total market, and 57.9 million of them are our serviceable addressable market, which are high school and college students ages 17 to 24. Now our app will be free to purchase, but it will only come with one college and one communication with those colleges. But there will be an in-app purchase of $2.99 that gains full access to all colleges and all communication with those colleges. Now there will be a 45-cent deduction fee, which this fee is for credit card companies and Apple Store taxes, which will leave us with 84% gross profit per one unit that we sell. Now we thought in year one that a realistic pool of customers would be trying to get current students at local high schools around us, such as our conference. So there are roughly 10,000 students in our conference, and we're trying to obtain 58% of those students. And if we do so, that'll leave us with around 6,000 students. Now if all 6,000 students purchase our in-app purchase of $2.99, that will leave us with our total revenue in year one of $18,000. Now then, after we subtract our cost per unit sold from our revenue, that'll leave us with a gross profit of $15,000 to work with.
So our marketing plan would be contacting schools, Instagram ads, and Facebook ads. We would contact schools via email, asking them to push our information towards high school students ages 16 to 18, looking or searching for the right school, as well as Instagram ads and Facebook ads, because on average, teens spend up to 6 hours a day searching through social media.
Now, what we're trying to get through this MVP testing is see how much high schoolers really enjoy asking college students about their experiences. And we also want to figure out how much college students really enjoy giving advice to the younger kids and what might the incentive they would want from giving their advice to the high school students. So our first MVP is going to be a demo test via a Facebook group. And Kelly has a brother at Indiana University, so we're going to gather kids from Barrington High School that are interested in going to Indiana University and put them based on like 10 groups of people for one person at Indiana University, so they can ask personalized questions. And we plan to start this on Monday, let it run for 2 weeks, and we plan on doing this twice. So we're planning on getting qualitative data based on the opinions of both the high school student and the college students as well. And we also would like to have a professional video made that will be posted on our social media and will also be on our landing page. This will further incline people to learn more about our business because they will know more about it. And they would also be more likely to give us their email so we can ask them more questions like if they're a high school student, a college student, etc. We also want to run Instagram ads. We plan to run 2 of these every 5 weeks so the younger audience can learn more about us, and so they could be also go to our page and go to our landing page and they can give us their email. We'd also like to send about 1,000 emails to students in our conference so they could learn more about us as well, and we plan on having about a 58% click-through rate based on our other research.
Now these are the costs for our MVP. Our video would cost $112. The email blast that we send out in the Facebook group demo test would both be free. Social media for Facebook and Instagram would cost $68. They're all platforms. And then we want a professionally made logo to look nice, and that would cost $45.
In all, we're asking for $225 to complete our MVP testing and get the best possible research that we can on our product.
And we are Campus Culture, helping you make educated decisions about your higher education. Thank you.
Come up with the huge target the TAM figure.
What I did was we found all 196 million, and then I took the median.
196 million what?
196 million users. That's like 196 million social media users, and that's ages like 5 to all the way up to like 80, 90-year-olds. And so what I did was I took the median that they'd spend on social media in a year, and I just multiplied that by the 196 million people.
Can I make a suggestion for your market size? You may want to start with a different starting point. So it's easy to find out how many kids are graduating high school, and it's very easy to find out what percentage of kids actually apply to college. I would start with that, and then you can apply some social media usage to that number. That'll be a much more realistic sizing of what this opportunity is. because those statistics I know are pretty easy to get. And it may be smaller than that, because you're starting from, hey, let's just talk about everybody who maybe uses social media, and backing down from there. I don't know, just a
Yeah, I
suggestion.
think it's a good suggestion.
Mhm.
Could you go back to one of the early slides? You had the 65% and 85% numbers that were as a result of the survey you conducted. Yeah, I'm just curious, what was the sample size?
We interviewed 200 people, 200 students.
Good. How'd you do that?
We went out in like our library pretty much every single day, and we were just asking students. And we also conducted a survey that we gave out through the English department of our school.
Good.
Can you just restate again, with that MVP test and what you've asked for, what are the key things you're trying to learn from that MVP test that are gonna help you decide whether this should, you should go forward with this?
I guess we're just trying to find out how much high school students are really interested, or how much they really need college students to give their advice, and how, like, I guess the quantity of students around here, how much they would really need college students. And we'd also want to figure out the college students' experience as well, like if they were annoyed by it, or if they really enjoyed it, or what kind of incentives they would want for giving their advice.
Is the MVP then, you've already, walk me through what's happening on the undergrads and like the kid that's at Indiana, is it just one person that's providing the answers to the
It's
questions?
one person per 10 students.
For our demo.
Yeah, just
Okay.
for the demo.
And so how many different students are you going to be interacting with, do you think?
Not more than like 3 or 4, like at
3 or
Indiana.
4?
Yeah, not more than 3 or 4 for now, depending on how many students we get.
You might want to consider, because what I'm envisioning is that you've got this part of the high school student part of the market is probably pretty easy to validate. Everybody's got questions, but then you got to validate whether you've got undergrads that are willing to just give out free information, reviews. I'm wondering whether maybe, I think doing the MVP as you described is fine, but maybe add on some more kind of guerrilla, just pestering random students while you're on campus, asking them questions about, just ask them questions, like it's not a staged thing, so that you can kind of see how spontaneously they'll give you information.
Or expand also how many are giving advice, as opposed to just targeting one. I would, again, hypothesis, and you'll learn this, do the students who are investigating what school to go to want to hear from multiple people and not just one voice to give them opinions?
How did you guys arrive at the, that's a couple different questions. How did you guys first decide, hey, we're gonna like our revenue model is charging for an app, as opposed to anything else you might, did you explore other revenue models, and what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, we did. We tried to do, just getting other companies to advertise on ours, but then we found out you actually need to have a proven business for other companies to want to advertise on your app, because I know that's a lot of what free apps do nowadays is they just build up and then they have companies do that. Then we also tried to do a tiered system where you would get 2 to 3 colleges pay this, you pay this amount, and then unlimited you would pay this, and in between you would have to pay this amount. But we found out that would just be way too confusing, and there would be loopholes that people would just buy the 2 or 3 just because they feel like they can get away and they're okay with knowing 2 or 3 colleges. So that's why we went with you get one college for the free, and then if you want anything else, you have to pay the unlimited full $2.99.
And we also were gonna do instead of it being free on the App Store, we can have that cost money, but we didn't want the college students to have to pay money in order to give their advice, so we made an in-app for if you want a student profile, you get $2.99, but if you're a college student posting, it's free.
And how are you going about getting the college students? Is it just, you go to the campus and solicit people?
I guess that's how it would start, and then it'd start between friends, friends of friends, I guess, and then we'd also want to do some sort of incentive, whether it be a gift card to Starbucks.
And are you limiting the amount of people in the college that you want to, to be able to comment on the school?
No.
Good.
We've also tried to reach out to like student liaisons, like giving tours out because, I mean, that would have incentive to reach out to high school students.
How you know, impactful are the guidance counselors at high schools? I mean, you know, would going to a guidance counselor with this kind of a app be an approach you want to take?
We went to the guidance counselor about it, and she said that she would be very glad to, like, when students come in, refer us to her.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good sales outlet for you.
Yeah, I think that guidance counselors can provide very useful information, but a lot of this information that would be on our app is very like personal, you know, student to student type of stuff. So.
So, go ahead. Well, I mean, there's so many cool things, just so you know, like we're asking a lot of hard questions and it's interesting. The 37% statistic of transfer is shocking to me. Actually, a huge statistic, very powering for how do you improve this process. Second thing you did really nicely was you listed out those customer personas of who could use this. The only thing I haven't heard about was the parent. So are you doing anything in this MVP? You talked about the mom.
Right, yeah.
Are you, do you have time to, or do you plan to test that as a target market?
We feel like right now, our target, because we're like limited to the amount of money that we can get and the amount of resources. So we feel like that the students are a priority, and that we feel like if the students are doing this and their parents are watching what they're doing, that the parents will just be inclined to purchase the app as well, just because of the benefits that it brings to their student.
So think of that though as a goal, is to validate that. You know, the best way to do is to start small with your target market. So validate that this is the right way to go, that hey, we're gonna target students first.
Could you review how you're gonna spend the $225 then?
Yeah.
So we had $112 for a video, which
Is
would
that
be
realistic?
yes.
It is, yeah.
How do you know?
We went on what was the website that we used?
I don't remember what it was
There's a
called.
website where
Yeah.
video developers can list, you know, they say, oh, I'm up for hire. There's like coders on the
They
website.
list
So we,
like their hours, their profits, everything like that.
Seems like a really, you know, small amount of money to me. I mean, what do they charge? $10 an hour?
I think it was about that.
Probably maybe more than that too, but.
We also don't want it to be that long, we just want it to be like a short explainer video.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds or something like that. Or just short and grabs their attention kind of thing. These two things were free. The email blast we're sending out in the Facebook group. And then we have social media ads on Facebook and Instagram. And those are going to be $68 for
2 a week for 5 weeks.
Say that again? What is
there's
it?
2 a week on each platform for 5 weeks.
On Instagram?
Yeah,
On both
Instagram.
platforms.
Really? Just for Instagram.
And your goal with that is to get people to sign up to use your test, or
Our goal is to get them to go through the Instagram ad to our Instagram page, and then eventually click on our website, which is in the bio, and then they give us their email.
Also on our Instagram page, we have people, we are inviting people to join our Facebook group, so they could also join our Facebook group, as well as sign on to our MailChimp account as well on our landing page.
okay.
Is somebody going to monitor what you know, students at the colleges are putting on the website?
I guess when we're small, we'd be able to do that, but like if there were to be a lot of college students, we'd have to figure out a way to monitor it.
And, you know, you don't know what you're going to get there. You know, somebody could be saying stuff that's libel, lawsuit type stuff.
Something easy you could probably add to that I think would add a lot of value to the MVP is ask the students how many schools they looked at, or how many schools they have looked at or are considering.
30 seconds.
Other thing, I don't know how, are you guys familiar with Glassdoor
Yes.
and Trip? I mean, this sounds a lot like Glassdoor
Right, yeah.
for colleges. So you might want to think about, just, hey, what makes this the same? What makes it different? How do their revenue model, you know, they're making money off the employer. in this case, if they were doing this, they would try to make money off the university.
Right.
So just think about that. And there's a ton of other review-based site with content review, TripAdvisor. I'm sure there's a bunch of consumer-based ones, just to round out kind of your field of view of ways you can monetize the information.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.